Good evening, everybody, and you're all very welcome to the 2022 Tipperary Ladies Football Preview Show. Over the next hour and a half of that, we'll be getting the views of all the teams taking part. We'll hear a few ladies, we'll see Johnny Neville down there, and we'll have a bit of crack. So we'll get on with everything, and first up, we'll bring up the chairman of the county board, Michael Towie. Michael, huge weekend of football ahead.
Yeah, most looking forward to a huge weekend of football. It's the pinnacle of our season, and it's great. 2 days of football with 4 junior finals on the Saturday, and with the intermediate and 2 senior finals on the Sunday. So it's great after a long season to get it now to a situation where we're into the final round, and it should be a very exciting weekend of football for us.
Yeah, I suppose if the finals are half as good and exciting that we had over the semi-finals, we're in for a fantastic weekend of football.
Yeah, it's great games. There was great excitement to right, especially our senior final was a senior semi-finals. There was a last-minute goal to get for Brian Bruce to get revenge over Lar Roche from last year, and there's great pairings there, like in the senior final, you have Feather and Brian Bruce, and that's a really exciting game. And there was nothing between them in the round robin, so again, hard to know which they go. And you repeated that for senior B final as well, which is Clonmel and Tipperary again on Sunday. And then you also have on Sunday Boherlahan, Douala and Mullinahone. And Mullinahone are coming in on the back of their county and Munster titles last year in the Junior A and getting to All-Ireland final. And then on Saturday we have our Junior A final, which is Moycarkey, Moytabatui, local rivals, which again had a really close game in the round robin. So that's a really exciting game to look forward to. And then in the Junior B we have Boherlahan, Douala. Had a good win over Kappa White in the semi-final, and we're waiting the other semi-final result tomorrow, which is Lockmore Castellini and Holy Cross Ballycahill. And in the Junior C, we've Tipperary and Moyle Rovers, second teams, who had a draw in the round robin, so again, very hard to call that one. And in the Junior D then, there's Ardfinnan and Golden Kilfeacle, which again looks a very competitive game, so a great weekend of football to look forward to.
Yeah, a lot of work going in, I suppose. 3 venues as well, so a lot of people fairly busy over them 24 or 36 hours.
Yeah, it's busy, all right. There's a lot of planning goes into these things. I suppose we've started now about two weeks out of the detailed planning. Really, I suppose this is all a combination of the work that was put in all year by all the members of the executive, and plus also all our various clubs have done great work during the year, and it's great to see such a feast of football. And we're so blessed as well to have Comida, who are brilliant sponsors for us of our county senior team and our adult championships. David Anshel is a brilliant supporter of us and has been for many years and continues to be a great supporter. And it's great to be able to showcase and be associated with a brand like that to showcase the peak of our season, which is next Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I suppose the profile of ladies football Tipp is much through the roof. €500,000 last year, and we're up past 150,000 already this year. Profile is really gone there.
Yeah, we're blessed with really great quality of football. Earlier today, I actually was down in Killarney, where we had under 8s and 10s blitz, and it was a great festival of football, and that's where all the players now that are playing adult now would have started many years ago. So we're blessed, like we've gone over 5,000 playing members in total in Tipperary, and we're making great strides at all levels. And like we went out last year and represented ourselves very well, both the provincial and All-Ireland series as well at the club scene. So look, they're good teams there, and they're getting stronger the whole time, and that's testament to the great work that's going on in all our clubs, from under 8s and 10s right up, and back to it all the work that the various people, the likes of Barry Burke, and that does the development officer and all the development committee, which helps strengthen that, and all the work then that the likes of in the schools where the likes of Brian Fox and Tony Smith would help out with that as well. So we're blessed. Like, I mean, all these things don't happen by accident. There's a lot of hard work goes into it, and you know, the clubs themselves put in huge effort, and it's culminating now with a great weekend. And it's great to see two of the clubs there have two teams in the finals weekend. You have Boherlaugh and Douala with two teams, and Templemore with two teams, which is a great thing to see as well. So, and there's a great range of clubs participating in taking part in the finals weekend. So that's again great, and we're looking forward to it. We're great, delighted to be in Bansha on Sunday, who are always very good to support us, providing us with a venue, and we are in New Inn and Golden on Saturday, which again are great supporters of us, and it's great to see that, and it's good to have top quality venues which allow us to showcase the great football that we have in Tipperary.
Yeah, and of course, like, they all want to get a county medal next weekend, but there's another opportunity there for them to get something at the end of the year with the All-Star Awards on the 17th of December.
Yeah, it's a great thing this year, a new development where we have with yourselves and CK Stream, which is great to see. It's a great showcase of celebration of the great talent that's there, and there's been great work with the live streams all during the year, and it's going to be culminating in a great night of celebrating of our football season on the 17th of December in Care House Hotel, with obviously the All-Stars themselves, and we've players of the year, and also the goal of the year as well. So it's great to see that. It gives an additional profile to our players, our club players, which are, you know, such a key part, are the key part of what we're at. Like, I mean, we have a small number of players who play for the county, the vast majority play for club, and they have put on some great displays over the year, and looking forward to another great display of football next weekend.
Yeah, certainly a good weekend of football ahead. Michael, thanks for being with us, and no doubt we'll be running into you plenty over the next week. Michael, how are you?
So first off, next Saturday is the Junior D County final between Ardvinnan and Golden. So we're going to call up Jane O'Mahony and Kaylee Tobin of Ardvinnan.
How are you?
How are you? How's it going?
Next Saturday, the first stop, Jim, we spoke at the start of the year, you were hoping to get to a final. You're here now, and not only something you want to win.
Yeah, obviously this year it's our first year in Ardvinnan having a second team, so we're absolutely delighted that we had a tough run of it in the league with a few challenging games, same in the championship, so we're delighted to be on the right side of it now coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, actually, the semi-final, like, we probably didn't see that result coming, but obviously you knock it down after the group games. Fair to say we got that prediction fairly wrong.
That's it. No, look, last Sunday in Margaret, all we could do was what we had on the day, you know. I think ourselves, we were that bit more cautious coming into the semi-final than what we had been in the league final, and we definitely learned a lot up in Bansha the day of the league final, so we knew kind of where we went wrong and what we had to improve on, and we had some girls join us since as well, so it was great, and we had a lot going for us last Sunday, so we were very happy with the outcome.
Yeah, because your intermediates were kind of struggling there at times, and it would have been easy for them to pick players off you as well, and you could have lost a good lot of players, but you managed to hold on to most of them, so that's a huge thing going into this final.
That's it exactly, and I suppose like we're very lucky to have two teams, but you know, you have a panel there of about 40 girls who genuinely, any of the 40 could play either or. There's so much talent and experience and capability within our club that we're very blessed, and you know, some girls, I think one or two maybe have gotten called up, but you know, we still had a very extensive panel left for the junior team that'll hopefully help us drive it home now on Saturday.
Yeah, and Gordon are a very new club as well, like, so obviously they're going to be allowed to win it as well.
Yeah, we had a very tough match against them in the league. I think we Lost by 1 point. 1 by a point. So hope it probably will be a tight contest again now on Saturday.
Yeah, I suppose that's what we're all looking for, really. A
Yeah.
contest start off the week, and let's wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we can talk to you after the game.
Yep, perfect. Thanks
Kelly
very much.
Hogan and Jen Matt.
Perfect, thank you.
So we're going to welcome up Gavin Ryan and Leah Price of Golden.
Gavin, Leah, how are you?
How are you?
Gavin, I suppose, just as we were saying there to Lar Roche, relatively new club, goal competing, get to a county final, huge thing for the club.
Yeah, we got to the county semi last year a bit by mile over, so it was good to progress on this year, take another step into the county final. Good Arfinnan team. They have a super mix throughout their team between experienced and youth. We played them in the county semi-final of the league. One pint in the difference. It was a tough game, but they were fierce experience. They were well able to see it out. They were very experienced towards the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and I suppose Leah, you're getting experience at the nothing over the last couple of years next. So now's the day for you to shine in the big dance.
Yeah, I suppose we're a new team. Like, you know, we only started out 3 years ago, so for us to even get into anywhere near a county final is a big achievement for us. So I suppose all our players have come a really long way. When I started, God, I had 2 left feet, so a bit has changed since then.
Yeah, and numbers wise, like, what way you see the underage structure there, like, you seem to be doing fairly well, like, the players there. What way numbers wise in the junior team?
On the junior team now, like at training, we could have between 25 and 30 girls coming up, and you know, there's a lot of youth there. But there's girls say that have played at previous clubs before Golden Club started, so there is a bit of experience there as well, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose, Gavin, getting them kind of numbers all helps to build success.
Yeah, it's as all the girls and lads that know down there, it's way easier to train 30 than it is to train 12 or 13. We have a good, as you mentioned, the juvenile club is massive. There's great numbers coming through, and like I probably could see maybe 2 adult teams in Golden in the next 2 to 3 years, because there is good numbers coming through. So they have great foundations built there. And the likes of Declan and James and Stuart, they really have a solid foundation built within the club. And I suppose I must thank the John Curran, the secretary of the GA club in Golden, like, because he makes the field available whenever possible. I think he made it available there for a couple of county semi-finals and the county final, and they're brilliant to us. And without them, we would struggle massively. They have been very good to the ladies football team.
Yeah, supposedly it's vital that the GA club actually grow in with the likes of the ladies football club, too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I suppose we depend a lot on them. Like, you know, the grounds in Golden are immaculate. Like, so I suppose it's just a matter of, and they're very approachable. Like, you know, because sometimes in ladies football it's kind of underseen, but in Golden, no, it's not like that at all.
Yeah, and Kevin, like, new club, like, formed 3 years ago, you see Feather down there, like, they're 19 years, they're in the first senior county final, so that's something that the likes of you be inspiring in the near future.
Most definitely, I suppose the first thing we're looking for is to get over the line on Saturday. But like we've played Fettered a few times, and they have a great club going. Fettered historically, even with the men's club, they were always well able to play football. But yes, I suppose our main aim would be to progress on into Junior C, move our way up through the ranks, and hopefully someday bring a senior title back into Golden and celebrate it in style.
Yeah, with the work that's going on there now at the moment, sky's the limit. Let's wish the best of luck,
Thank you very much.
and we'll see you in Saturday.
Thank you.
The junior C game, I think, up more my Rovers will take place at 3 o'clock in New Inn, and get the views to take tomorrow now. We have Ali Cowan and Sarah Hogan. Alan, how's it going? Alan, busy weekend ahead for you.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose it's great to have two teams competitive at the end of the year. Look, we've massive numbers. It's a great club. So strong future ahead of us. A very young side in the junior competition. But look, this year's junior competition maybe helped us a little bit where it's all second teams. So last year we kind of came up against a few first teams and it was difficult with young players. And this year the competition structure has really helped. That it's second teams we're playing all the time. So look, really good. Look, really bright, really positive. That we'll give it a good go at the weekend. It was a very tough match the last day. Two very similar teams. It was ding dong there in the last couple of minutes for a finish, and we came out with the draw. So
Yeah, I suppose as Anna said there, you come up with a draw that day, and real ding dong, so nothing really between the two teams.
No, there wasn't really much between the two teams, but we played Care and Bramburys and we gave them a good game. And hopefully on Saturday we'll play against Bramburys or Wild Rovers and we'll do well.
Yeah, and I suppose with having a senior team there as well, you're trying to keep players for the juniors. Would you have lost many players over the course of the championship?
yeah, no, look, obviously you're going to lose a few as you go up along, but we have a very big squad, so no, not too many. We kind of stuck with the same 15 we've had most of the year, which is good for a continuity point of view, and it helps the senior squad as well. Then that there's so many training, like we could have 35, 40 a training any night of the week, so the whole thing rises together. Like
Yeah, having the numbers of training, Sarah, like it's used to help, and having the seniors there with their experience and plenty of experienced players in that is a huge help for the younger players especially.
It's great having loads of people at training because you get to know all your team and it's easier to play with them. And having the seniors there, they can give you tips that can help you with your team and how to play with your team as well. So it's just great having them all there.
Yeah, and my Rovers, like we still had last evening, real nip and talk, and kind of got a bit feisty on the sideline at times as well.
Well, sure, it always does, doesn't it? That's the choice of it. Yeah, look, it was a good game. It was our first double header, so we played my Rovers twice. The one day, the seniors and juniors, which was probably added a bit to the spice. It was under lights. It was we had a good start. But no, look, it's competitive. It's championship. It's going to be feisty on the sideline. It was a very tight pitch, so the sideline was on top of us. And no, look, it was good. It was a good out hustle. There was a few harsh words spoken from both sides, I suppose, but that only adds to the spice and makes your viewership even better, I suppose.
Oh, keep it up now. But I suppose with the seniors playing Sunday, it's probably a help for you because you don't have to go and try and get a second team ready fairly quick straight away as well.
Look, ideally it would be great if both matches were on the same day, but look, that can't be helped. Yeah, look, it's great. Look, it's brilliant when you have two teams. To have two teams in the final is brilliant. It helps everything. Like Sarah said, the younger players get to see what the older players are at. Now that we have all our county players back, it's great. Bright future for the club. So, it's all up.
Yeah, it certainly has the potential to be one of the games of the weekend. Let's wish you the best of luck, and Francis Murphy, we hope you'll be back here next Saturday.
Well, let's hope so. Excellent.
And Caroline,
Next up, we have the Junior B in Golden at 2 o'clock on Saturday. And first up, we have Borland Douala with Tricia Donnelly and Sharon O'Reilly.
Sharon, how's things?
Great, how are you? Good.
So Sharon, from a player's perspective, I suppose you're all getting into the zone now for Saturday and hoping to come out on the right side of it.
Yeah, I suppose we've been training away all year, and look, we've a big panel, so we've been in the intermediate final as well. You know, it's kept us very motivated.
Yeah, and even your semi-final, like you were both playing one after the other there the other day, like, and you could see that you had so much support even from the other team there, like Borland's intermediate team. So I think you all, you know, there's a massive support there at your club as well, and it'd be brilliant to bring back 2 titles at the weekend for you.
Yeah, I suppose, look, having a big panel, it definitely does make the difference. It would have been nice to have the 2 matches together, but obviously it just makes sense that one's on Saturday and the other's on Sunday, but it definitely worked out well for us last weekend. Definitely drove on the motivation for us.
Tricia, I suppose with being involved now, you're coaching with the 2 teams, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of work's being put in between yourselves and the rest of the management team to get these teams to where they are today.
Yeah, there's a lot of work, but you get great gratification out of it when you see how well the girls are going. And in fairness, they're a great bunch of girls, and to be in 2 finals the same weekend it's great for the club. It shows we're growing as a club and building. So hopefully the future is looking good for us. All going well.
And even like on the both teams, you have there's a lot of young experience there as well coming up along, which is great. Like, you know, hopefully from the 2 teams, and in the future you can mix them together and make a senior team, hopefully. And like you see the younger girls coming along, and if they're really stepping up, like, you know, and mixing really well with your teams. Like you all play really well as a team.
Yeah, I suppose, like, there's girls on our junior team, to be honest, that would actually start on any intermediate team. Like, we do have a serious selection of players. We're very lucky that way. And I suppose from our junior match even last weekend, we kind of saw ourselves, it's taken us the 2 years to really come together as a team and play as a unit, because I suppose, like, look, everyone knows we're made up of kind of Clonty, Cashel, Borland, and you know, it's hard when you're playing with girls there that you might have never played with before, and especially with myself last year, I didn't play football for a few years, and I went back and I didn't know half the young ones, to be honest. They weren't even born, I'd say, when I started playing, you know. So getting to know them and really building a rapport, it just made a huge difference to us this year, and I think that's why we've really pushed on with the Junior B. I suppose we thought coming from Junior C last year that it would be just such a leap for us, but yeah, we just really worked as a unit, and we're delighted to get to the final again.
Well, I no doubt anyway that it'll be certainly a really good game, competitive game at the weekend. So I wish you the very, very best luck, and sure we'll be talking to you at the weekend.
Thank you.
Just before we go, Sharon, I've seen you coming in after an All-Ireland. 2 finals next weekend can kill you.
I know, look, sure, if we have an ambulance on standby, we'll be fine.
Best of luck.
Sharon O'Reilly and Tricia Donnelly. Next up, we have the Junior A which is taking place in Golden at 4 o'clock on Saturday, and we have Moycarkey Bars, Mindtown Tui. So first up, we have PJ Ryan and Niamh Ryan of Mindtown Tui. So firstly, PJ, I suppose, from a management perspective, coming into a junior A final, I suppose it's a big difference, you know, stepping up from junior C to junior B and now coming into a junior A final. A lot of work being put in with the girls.
Yeah, the girls have been working hard all year. I suppose we came up from junior B 3 years ago. We got to the junior A final the year after, got beaten in it. Last year we came a bit short and got beaten in the semi-final. So for us, it's great to be back in the final again this year.
Yeah, and even like the performance that you put up throughout the championship, like a total you've scored 1464 throughout your junior A championship, which is incredible for any team to be putting up 64 points on the board. Like, and you can just see how well your team is bonding. Even Niamh, like as you being a player there, you all mix so well as a team, and you can see that out in the field when you go playing against other teams. Like I know from my perspective, playing against you in the junior A competition, like it was phenomenal to see that from another team. The way you mix and the passage you play throughout the field, you really do work well and know each other's, you know, ins and outs of each other really, like, and how you play as a team.
Yeah, sure. That's from like we have over 30 players training each night. It takes that to bond together, and that's what happens. People step up, and that's how you put up 64 points. Like it's all that practice, and we wouldn't have that without the commitment of our players and our management. So we're very lucky to have everyone involved.
Yeah, so you were runners up in 2020, and like you're playing against Moycarkey now, who were runners up in 2021. So, and now for 2022 final to be playing against each other, it'll be more likely one of the most competitive games at the weekend. You know, you're both obviously wanting to claim that junior A title, as anyone would want to, and to go on. But you can see it that it is really, really progressing, and I've no doubt that coming out on the right side, like we've played both, obviously yourselves and Moycarkey, so I've no doubt it'll be a very, very competitive game. And I suppose on the management, when you're standing on the sideline and you're going to be seeing a very competitive game, you know, and once the girls step in over the line, you can't do much more on the line, but if you could, if you wanted to.
Yeah, it's true. Like over the last few years, there's a very healthy rivalry between ourselves and Moycarkey. We got to know each other fairly well. But like coming into any competition, you're probably looking for something to separate teams. You look at form, and Moycarkey are definitely bringing the form to the competition. They were beaten finalists last year. They went out, won the Division 2 league this year, knocked out some intermediate teams on their way, and they're unbeaten in the championship so far. So if you're looking for form, it's going to be a huge task for us, but we're up for it.
Peter Pingus killed it over again. Just we heard it at the start of the year now, getting down your chances. Will you just talk yourself up a bit or something?
Look, we're there. We're in the final. We'll give it our best shot, but you know, we are up against a serious team, so we know what we're up against. But our girls are ready. They're training hard. They're scoring well, and look, we have a game plan put together. So we just hope for the best and hope it works.
And what do you like at home now, given the place?
Sure, we'll try and prepare as best we can during the week. Sure, we've the work done at training. There's not much you can do at this stage, so we'll just try to bring everything we can on Saturday. And we know the rivalry between us and Moycarkey, so it'll be a good game, but hopefully we can do it.
Well, I no doubt that it will be, you know, one of the most competitive games at the weekend. So we wish yourselves very best of luck, and we'll be talking to you Saturday. Niamh Ryan and PJ Ryan might have to. Next up, we have Mike Harkey, so we have Ray Ralph and Katrina Walsh. So I suppose, obviously, just talking to my Tipperary there, there's a bit of a rivalry there between the two of you, but I suppose you're set, ready to go for the weekend.
Yeah, suppose the last few years it's been non-stop between games between us, and I suppose this year will be the fourth time meeting, so yeah, looking forward to it. Like the lad said before, there hasn't been nothing between us in the 4 games. Like, they've been competitive, and I'd say we kind of know each other inside and out at this stage. It's going to be whoever performs on the day, really, is going to be champions at the end of it.
And even like throughout your championship campaign, like, he scored a total of 21-65. Like, so if you look at it, my Tipp 2 is scoring 64 points and yourself scoring 65 points. There's not a massive difference between there. So, as you said, it's going to come down to what it is on the day. Like, but even Ray, like, you're obviously doing a savage amount of work there with the girls. Like, they're really, really performing in all their games that they've been played, and being unbeaten so far in the championship is, I suppose, it's really good. The work that you're putting in is really shown throughout the girls on the pitch.
Yeah, it's just easy work with the girls. This girl here leads by example at training every night. She's there first. She's last to go home. Says nothing, leads by example. They all follow her. It's very easy training. The young ones, all they want to do is play. As for the match against mine, yeah, it's going to be, I suppose, a local derby. We're joining, we bounce one another, and we know one another. And probably there's in-laws and there's connections, as well. But whoever wants it the most, that's who's going to win it. Whether it's my Harkey or mine, I hope it's us. But that's what it'll boil down to today. As Katrina says, we've met a good few times this year. They gave us a right kick in below, and Tipperary one even. They learned us how to play football, and they did. They genuinely did, and woke us up a bit maybe. And we played in a Division 2 final, and they had some of the girls gone in J1s where we didn't. So there's going to be nothing in this. Very, very little, as you said, one score, but I hope it goes our way.
Yeah, Ray, you're slowly bringing up the under 16s from the last 2 years as well. They're starting to add to that panel, and we can see a lot of the clubs here tonight. Once that groundwork goes in, it lays a good strong foundation there going forward.
I'm sure it does, Thomas. Like every club, like the most important team in every club, in my opinion, I'm at it a long time, is your under 10 team. If you put your work in, be it hurling, Gaelic football, ladies football, it'll come up along. Do you know what I mean? So just like going to the bank, if you have nothing in it, and go to the car and you can't take anything out. Do you know what I mean? You have to have it done. So that's the philosophy we use in McCarthy, and sometimes it works up for us, and sometimes it don't. Like, some of our teams are very strong underage again, but sure, that's the way it goes. You can't have it all the time, But yeah, we are bringing the girls up. That's all about. But there's no point bringing them up unless you have ambassadors like Katrina and Maeve and these girls there, for them to show them what to do. So you have to get the ages right, and I think we're getting it right. And fair play to the older girls, like they're really showing the younger ones the ropes. So it's easy.
Yeah, because Katrina, I suppose there's a potential for a golden generation there, and I can't get the minute with what's coming through.
Yeah, the potential is there, but I suppose that's all it is, potential. Like, they still have to kind of go and do it. It doesn't mean anything until you actually go and do it. There is a fine bunch of players there, but again, a lot of things can happen over the next few years. Girls lose interests, different directions taken career-wise, college-wise, travels. So, like, I suppose keeping a bunch together and keeping the club, I suppose, building, it's going to be the big thing, but a lot of work has to be put in. It's not going to just happen automatic. Like, you just have to, I suppose, keep on top of it and try push it on again. If you don't, it won't happen. Like, so the lads are doing a great job pushing it on again, and hopefully we'll continue and build again.
Yeah, and I suppose when you've that amount of players pushing for places then as well, keeping them happy is one of the hardest things for them. So.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's going to be people disappointed, but that's sport. You have to shake yourself off and go on. the worst thing you can have in the panel is someone on the tail end of the panel sulking. It's going to bring it all down. So you have to keep everyone happy, get games, you know. But sure, when it gets competitive, that's what you want. Try and raise the standards up another little bit, like, you know.
Yeah, agree there with you. Like, you know, you have to, when it comes to, you know, these last couple of games, like, you know, you can only play your 20 when it comes to semi-final knockout stages. Like, you can only play your 20. And obviously, with having a big panel, that is the hardest part. You know, who is you're going to bring on or whatever. But I mean, it encourages the other girls, you know, to keep pushing themselves in, and hopefully next time then be like, right, I might get on. So I suppose in a way there's a massive advantage there, you know, because you're keeping the girls then pushing themselves, and then you're pushing on each other, and then as a team you're growing, and it just brings everyone on collectively as well as a group, and it, you know, makes the relationship a lot better as well between your players.
Yeah, no, everyone is flying. Everyone wants to play. I suppose as a player, you just want to play. We've serious spread of scores this year, so like no one's taken for granted their place. Defenders have come in and slotted in when other girls have been missing all year. There's always been players missing at different stages, and other girls have stepped up and stepped in. So yeah, no, it's great. Everyone knows if they push on, they might have a chance. Like the lads have always given people chances at different stages, so it's up to them then to take it, like when they get it.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely, and I've no doubt on Saturday, both as players and management, you're going to have to do it. You know, there's going to be a bit of work there to get over the line, but it'll be a very, very competitive game, and we wish you the very best of luck.
Thanks.
Ray Ralph, Train Hall. Yeah, you can do it. And it's in the anonymous. You can do this one.
Gonna mix it up a bit there now. On Sunday in 2 o'clock in Branch, Tipperary and Clonmel Commercial, we playing in the Senior League, and look ahead to the back end now. We've done it. Clonmel Commercial. Tanya, how are things?
Hi, how are you?
Tanya, I suppose Senior League final, probably not where you wanted to be at the start of the year, but it's a county final now, and repeat last year's final, it's not more.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely not where I probably would have hoped for us to be, but would never say no to being in a county final regardless of what level it is. And we're just going to go out now and hopefully win and do what we did last year and come home with a bit of silverware. You'll never say no to a bit of silverware. But look, the draw, we were given the draw that was given. We know Temple are a really strong team. We played them last year, so hopefully we can go out and win it than we did last year.
Yeah, you kind of put yourselves under pressure from the start, and that second game against Feathers, game could have went anyway. They pulled away there in maybe the last 15 minutes, but after that, you got back in the horse and you played some super football over the last 3 games.
Yeah. I suppose at the start of the championship, there was a lot of people, a lot of our players went on holidays and J1s like every other team. I think the Feather game kind of woke us up to say we're going to throw this away, we better pull up our socks. And then like you said, the last 2 to 3 games we were playing, we kind of showed what we were made of. And the last game in particular, the ball and everything, the movement between the lot of us kind of improved, which is kind of where we are now. We probably could have went the full way, but look, we can't look at the past and see the first few games.
Even against Sarah's there, you were slow to start that game. I think you were painted good over half time, and you turned it around and you played some fantastic football in that second half an hour.
Yeah, the Stars game, I think we kind of shocked ourselves in the first half, thinking we can do better, and we were kind of not showing our full potential, and kind of came around in the half-time break and kind of had to pull ourselves together again and tell us to cop on really. And we kind of came out to the team that we know we are capable of in the second half, and then we just ran away with the game then.
And everything really clicked in together against Clare in the semi-final. I think the could go right, went right for you, really.
Yeah. The Care game, we always know Care is always going to put up a battle, and they're really, really, really good team. But what we put into training the last few weeks came out onto that field against Care, and the team that we know we are came out on the field last week in Latin against Care. We really kicked on in that game and showed our capabilities of what we are as a team.
Yeah, because especially there, you got 3 goals, I think, in the first half, and I suppose they're looking at like Anna Carey and Eva Phoenix always put to 5 or 6 points, but Sarah Reinley was on fire, so she scored 1-6, she scored 1-7, 1-6 for play.
Yeah. And to be fair to Sarah, she actually came down from Dublin. She had an FA Cup final that morning, and we didn't know it was touch and go if she was going to make it down in time for the match. But to be fair, she came on just as we were warming up, and she definitely was warmed up anyway, scoring. She's literally give her the ball now and she could do anything, and it's usually at the back of the net.
Yeah, and Tipperary, like I said, she played them last year on a Friday night down in Limerick, literally 4 Friday night might you had.
Really?
But it's fairly entertaining that evening now, and like obviously Tipperary going to be tough.
Yeah, like you said, that game last year in the bitter cold, the rain that fell in UL under lights was a tough game and tough circumstances anyway, but Tipperary are a really good, strong team. They're a really physical team, and we know that. And we know that they're going to come out guns blazing and looking probably for revenge from last year as well. So we know that's going to be a good, tough game coming ahead of us this weekend. Yeah.
Penny, thanks for being with us. Wish you the best of luck. We'll see you on Sunday. Thank you. Now to get the Tipperary point of view with Johnny Nubbin and Irish Skies. Thanks, very
Good, very good.
Johnny, as well as the same as commercials, senior B, probably not where you wanted to be at the start, considering the start you got in the championship. You good when it is care and probably didn't perform to your ability in the 2 games after that.
Yeah, very, very similar to Clonmel, I suppose. You start off the year in the A competition and you want to progress as far as you can on that. I suppose we got a great start against Care away, and got a great result, and we had our low at home then, and you know what, it was really a case of point when you get your chances against a quality team, you've got to take your chances. You know, we didn't done that on the day, so we went into kind of a do-or-die battle against my Rovers on a Thursday night, and we ended up under lights, so the kind of wheels got off the wagon a little bit on that night, but you know, no faults to anybody's efforts, but you know, we were very disappointed after that, but we knew we were better than that in that performance. So in fairness to the girls, it was really short us really straight away back to training on a Monday and a Wednesday and Saturday, so they're really giving 100%. And you know what, it's, I think as we heard already tonight, these are county finals, and you don't get to county finals that often. So when you get there, you've got to respect that you're in a county final, and it becomes naturally competitive. Every team wants to win them, so no less for ourselves in Clonmel or any of the teams here tonight. We really want to do our best for the club and the parishes, and we're really looking forward to next Sunday. You know, because it's a great opportunity. Because if you'd given this to us 3 weeks ago, we take your hand off you to get another chance to get back to a final. So we had that chance. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I suppose the fact that you're obviously disappointed with not coming out of the group, and then but I suppose there's a Munster Championship in the Cardiff there to go if you get over this.
Yeah, and I suppose it'd be great to get over the line. I didn't actually realise there was a Munster Championship at stake as well, so it should be good.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
And we think we're fairly busy against Arnold and 11 fits his fingers at the back working okay. for those that don't know, and then popped a couple of finger balls net, and every chance to come in and play and put back together and get back on the field.
As far as I know, they're back working.
Yeah, it's the second time in a week.
Yeah, I was getting good at it there.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have to do Johnny Cathy last Sunday, fair to say the first half wasn't the easiest on the eye. Probably Paul Crew having a few words with you that got Tipperary kicking tonight. A bit like Peter Creedon against Clare during the year.
And it wasn't the oldest pick in the book to put out there for you to get reaction, like, you know, but like Dave Fitzgerald. I wasn't in that play, but myself and Paul had a bit of disagreement over the size of the parallelogram, the square. And I was very tired, and Paul asked me to sit in the stand for a while just to take a break. So I'm just thankful to Paul for giving me that chance to sit down for a while. And but listen, referees are tough jobs. We don't always see eye to eye, you know what I mean? And we're all the passion of the game, and we want to do the best for the club. So, but listen, you'd have to say that if we play like we played against Galtee, we're not going to be in the ball game at all next week. We have to really improve 100%. We're playing a quality opposition. We know the girls very well from we've been involved in the county, you know what I mean? And you know, and even last year, like we won the intermediate in 2019, and we played Fedard. We lost the Fedard in 2021. We lost the Clonmel, so we're hoping third time lucky we can get over the line this time. And we're glad, like I think we said as well, that last year towards the back end of the year it was in UL, and it was really cold bitter night. So we're looking for a bit of good weather and the sun on their backs, and we'll go toe to toe with Clonmel, and we'll see who wins in the day. And we're really looking forward to it. So, but we have to improve a lot. The girls have worked very hard all year. Like we started off, like many teams have started off back in January, like on the track and in the gym, and like it's gone to a different level. You know, the quality. I'm just amazed. I haven't been involved in ladies football really at this level for a large number of years, but the quality of it in all grades, and we're especially looking in Tipperary more like a lot of clubs. We've already 35 and 40 players want to play senior or junior, and it's brilliant. And then, like I said, there's over 5,000 members, so it's a large growing sport in Ireland. You know, it's a high skill game, a high speed game, and a high pay. I know, and everybody's very fit and strong, and you know, it really is on the day. A lot of teams are matching each other. That's the kind of we've heard a lot tonight. It's really on the day 50-50 in the way the ball hops, and hopefully on Sunday the ball hops in our way and we get over the line, and we won't even think of anything else after that except to hopefully get back here next Sunday night for the cup, and we'll put on the same table next week, hopefully with a luck.
Yeah, and I suppose, have you told yourself you're taking Monday off? You've booked it up with yourself?
Yeah. I'll get in sometime on Monday. But no, listen, it's funny things, we'll start development day on Monday, so that was a good plan. That's a good planning day, but anyway, no. But listen, yeah, we're looking forward to the day. You know, it's amazing. There's 7 county finals, and you know it's brilliant, and every team has a chance, which is great to see.
Yeah, and I was just going back to the Galtee game, I suppose, when Ian Cashman got bin that time, and the penalty straight after it, it would have been easy to have more than 5 points down. It would have been easy to fold, but I think they were actually 4 points up by the time she came back onto the field.
I'm actually there, so.
What's your stream, no?
And it was the way. Yeah, we had to spring a rabbit out of the hat, and we were lucky. Had a good rabbit. Her name was Maria Curley, and she loved me described as a rabbit out of the hat. But we said, Maria, we're going to need a goal, and she just winked to me. Don't worry, I look after that, and off she went. Now Maria has never scored a goal in championship football, so it was what's rare is beautiful. But we needed something special, and Maria, I suppose she's a great, and a lot of the girls out there would know Maria from playing with her over the years. She's a real spiritual leader, like a real genuine person, and we needed that bit of inspiration because teams were going very bad. We were 4 points down, but you have to say, you know, a lesser team would have packed up the tent and gone home. But our girls know the harder it got, the deeper they dug, and we got the result. And I suppose every semi-final, it doesn't have to be pretty. You just got to get over the line, get to the final, and then you have a chance. And that's it. So Maria is actually injured, but she will be togging on Sunday. So we're hoping that she'll do a bit of inspiration again, hopefully.
You told last year's preview show that Nessa Towie was injured, even though she played under 19 that day, and that she wouldn't take part in any part of the Senior B final. So I believe the word you're telling me. You know we go to a lot of games now.
His camera's out.
I tell you. So Maria Curley is going to be starting, yeah. Hallelujah.
Manager. He's
Well,
available for selection.
Well, we look forward to Maria Curry starting next weekend. That's the best of luck, and we'll talk to you in Banter.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks.
Thanks, lads. We're going to take a big break there, lads. We'll be back with Tom McGlinchey looking forward to the junior games. We'll have the intermediate and senior A. So, join us. Welcome back here to the more for the Tipperary ladies football final preview show. Here with us now to look ahead to the junior games. We have Tom McGlinchey from Lar Roche.
Good now, Tomas, thank you.
Tom, just before we go touching on the finals, your own club, you made a big decision this year to move up to Junior B.
Yeah, we're Rockvale Rovers, Newport Ballynahinch. We started in 2020 and we had a great year. We won under 14 and we won a Junior D plate. And we just decided this year to go up to Junior B. Often looked at teams and try and improve our players. Now it didn't work out for us, but we learned an awful lot. We met some fantastic teams in Holy Cross, Latin, and then the two semi-final tomorrow, Holy Cross, a lot more, and then obviously Borderland the final. But we learned an awful lot, and I think it was maybe it was a foolish decision. We found it a brave decision, but just my own point of view, if anyone doesn't know me, my actual home club is a small club in Cork called Mourneabbey. And but how we actually started, and just listening to Tomas saying that 19 years it took Feathers to get to a senior final, but in 2003 was the last year, if people can remember that far, where girls could play over the age of 12. So we had two very good girls in Mourneabbey by the name of Ciara and Dermot Sullivan. And it was their last year under 12. And their father, who I played with in Clyde Rovers, they said, right, we had a ladies football team back in the 90s and it died out. And they put together a ladies football team in 2003. 2005 they won the junior county, won the All-Ireland, they won the intermediate in 2007, and they won their first senior county in 2014. And they won 6 in a row, Munster, or county Munster. We're in 6 All-Irelands in a row. So I suppose the point I'm making is you have to aim for the stars. And Mourneabbey, if anyone knows that part, we're the smallest parish in the Diocese of Clyne. We'd be as small as Lochmore or as Moyne out there. So aim high, always aim high. And as I said, I use the example of Mourneabbey. There were a small group of girls got together, very determined, and they made history and they deserved it, but they worked very hard.
So what's the sky's the limit when you start to go outside?
Yeah, the sky can be the limit, but I mean, like, we found it very hard at Junior B level. But again, I'm just hoping that our last game was against Borlahan, who were a fantastic team. But of the 20 girls we togged out, 15 of them were under 19. So hopefully, our main aim is just to hold on to players. Our first year at adult level and at juvenile level, we had 34 registered players. And now we have 99 registered players, so that's what we're doing. And I see a lot of clubs here now with 2 teams. Ardfinnan put in a second team this year, and now they're in the Division 4 final or the Junior D final. Templemore, a huge example, 2 teams and 2 finals. Clonmel Commercials always have good teams, and in Feathered, obviously they use a lot of their second team into their senior team because they were winning a lot of their games in the round robin stages. And they were knocked out in the semi-final, which was probably a surprise. But there's great progress being made by the clubs in the county, and that's down to the clubs, down to the players, and I think it definitely the organisation, the county board. I think this is the first time, even in GA, that I can actually see. I remember the fixtures went out in the end of the end of January. PJ and Michael Towie. Lisa and the lads sent out the fixture in January, and they said the county finals are going to be on the 1st and 2nd October, and here we are, the 1st and 2nd October, and I think that's a fantastic testament to the county board.
Yeah, I suppose looking ahead to these games, Tom, start with the Junior D, Golden and Ardfinnan. 2 teams we probably didn't expect to either. Semi-finals then.
Yeah, well, I suppose Golden, having seen them up along under 14, under 16, 17, and listening to Gavin just talking earlier on, they have a great structure, they have great underage structure, and they are giving youth their chance. And I was lucky enough to be involved in Ardfinnan down with the men's team this year, and they made the brave decision to put in a second team. And I was talking to Sarah Jane this morning, and she was telling me that I think they've used over 43 players at adult level, which is great. And it's great to see a club like Ardfinnan, who are competing intermediate, and now they're in a Junior D final. I think has the makings of a great game. The 2 semi-finals, I suppose everyone was surprised to see Feathered getting beaten so heavily. The second semi-final with Sleafhaven Rapparees are a new young up-and-coming team, so I think it'll be a great final and a great start to the weekend, and a hard one to call.
Yeah, I suppose Ardfinnan, as we said, some of the girls were missing for the intermediate championship, and they wouldn't have been held in the first 15, so their experience could swing this now, would you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. I just see some of the girls down there, like, I mean, when the sausages and the chips were handed out, they wouldn't take them. They were looking like for bananas and fruit, which is, you can see that they're taking things very seriously. And Golden, obviously, the same. It's a hard one to call. I think Ardfinnan have, they can call it Claire Jane, like, older players that have senior experience, and that could count on the day. But again, the youth and exuberance of Golden will tell a lot. I think it'll go down to the wire, and I wouldn't like to call that one.
Well, that's what you're here for this evening.
Yeah.
Give us a prediction.
I suppose, to give prediction then, I suppose you probably would have to go on Ardfinnan. It's just that they're a bit of experience of the players that have played senior that might just get them over the line.
And moving on to the sea, Templemore, my Roberts, pulled out cracking a few weeks ago. Nothing between these two.
Nothing between the 2 teams. I think 2-5 each was the round robin game which was played there a few weeks ago, the 1st September. Templemore were in an under-21 final earlier on in the year. They have a great captain and goalkeeper down there in Sarah. You spoke very well earlier on, so they have a good solid base behind them. My Rovers doing a lot of work obviously down there the last number of years, and I think that's another great initiative by the county board that the Junior C competition is for second teams, and you can see the quality in all the games. The fact that they drew a few weeks ago makes it interesting, but I know from talking to Alan and Johnny there that they might have lost a few players to their senior team. So, my Rovers might shade that one on the day, but again, it wouldn't surprise me if we go to extra time.
We were talking about Johnny Neville now, telling the story.
Yeah.
We've seen him up here 2 minutes.
His halo shines very brightly down there. That's good.
What way are you going to predict it?
I think Templemore have a bit of silverware already this year. I think they've stuck to their 16, 17 players, and I can see Templemore coming out on the day.
Yeah, and I suppose moving on to the B, we still have tomorrow with Lockmore and Holy Cross to play first, see who will be playing Borland in the final. Lockmore, new team, but plenty of experience in that team coming up against Holy Cross first.
Yeah, I watched Holy Cross and Nathan Cullen play in the league final below New Inn, and that was a super game, and I think everyone was surprised that day to see Nathan Cullen come through and win. And then the following week, Lockmore hadn't played in the league, and they came around and beat Latin, the game you televised as well. We played them the following week, and Lockmore, they really were. You could see the senior players that they had and the experience that they had. I think latter girls play senior hurling with Drum and Inch as well. They move the ball very well. They're very experienced. They move the ball very well. Very good take scores. And Marie Everson up front is very good. There's a few McGraths playing. They're a fantastic team. But having said that, Borland came along then and beat them in the round robin stage. And we played Borland in the last game, and they were absolutely superb. Holy Cross have a mix of a lot of young players. A lot of young players that played under 16. They have 1 or 2 players that were on the Tipperary senior panel, and they won't fear that match tomorrow. But I suppose I could see Lockmore getting through tomorrow, and Lockmore Borland on the day. If Lockmore don't get any injuries tomorrow, it could be a nice maiden year for Lockmore this year.
Yeah, because Lockmore have more or less 30 players in every game, with unlimited subs in the round robin. Do you think something like that could come against them, not knowing a second team, or do you think Conor Everston and the lads know before tomorrow?
Well, I suppose in fairness to Lockmore, they've got good men and women on the line. They have the experience of their players having played, a lot of them have played with Templemore and Turles, Sarsfields, and with the girls having played with Drum and Inch. And I suppose they're at the stage now where they have given girls all their chance, and they won't be afraid to make the hard decisions on the day. And if they just need to play 15, 16 players on the day, they'll put out their best 15 or 16, and they will be hard beat. But having said that, I thought Borland were fantastic. Holy Cross, I don't think have got to the heights that they got to at the start of the year, but tomorrow's a big game for them. But I do think it'll be a lot more Borland final, and I think if Lockmore click on the day, they will be hard to be beat.
Moving on to the Junior A, we've might have it up in McCarthy Burnett. Make it a cracker of a game here.
Yeah, fantastic. I think they played in the league final as well as the Division 2 league final as well. And a bit like Johnny Nevin below, the 2 managers, PJ and Ray there. You want a lot of hankies here to listen to the sob stories out of the 2 of them there to really hear who is telling the truth. But I think when the girls get out and actually play the game, I know my Carkey were in the A final last year, but they came up against a very strong Mullinholme team. I remember watching that on the stream as well. That was played below in Tipp Town, and Mullinholme were very good obviously on the day. But I think that experience will stand to my Carkey. Katrina there as well is a fantastic player. She's doing a lot of refereeing now as well, so she knows all the tricks on the trade on the field as well, and she'll be able to use that to her advantage. But they're a fantastic team in camogie and ladies football. and I think the experience of last year could stand to them. I think, having played the league final, I know PJ was saying that my Tipperary couldn't wait to get back to that A final, but I think the fact that my Carkey were in the final last year, I think they're missing Garen the Corcorans, I think might be missing through injuries from my Carkey, which would be a loss to them, but I see my Carkey coming through the A final there on Saturday.
Plenty of good football there in Junior to look ahead to. Tom, thanks for being with us, and we hope to meet you over the weekend.
Lovely, thanks very much. Well done. Thank you.
Moving on to the intermediate now, 12 o'clock in branch, we have Borland against Monaghan, and to get Borland too, we'll bring up Regan Martin and Aoife Kennedy. Lead in the party.
I am, Mike. Yeah, no, our captain was actually tied up in Canolty Camogie tonight, so I'm just standing in for tonight's in it.
Hopefully we get you some time.
I might, juniors on first, so could be lucky.
Race was coming up against Monaghan, you played them a couple of weeks ago, you got off to a bad start and never really recovered from.
Yeah, it was disappointing to give away the early goal. We kind of clawed our way back into it, and we got it level in the first half. They popped over a couple of scores then before half time to go in 2-up. Well, I thought we were competitive enough in the first half, but against a team like Monaghan, you can't really switch off, and we switched off, I'd say, for 5 or 6 minutes in the second half, and they scored 2-2 without reply, and that really did us. We couldn't come back, we couldn't bridge that gap much as we tried, because once they get moving at you, they're a machine, and it's hard to stand against them, but you just have to try. But we'll be relishing the opportunity now to turn it over come next week.
Yeah, because the other two games like Kappa White and Finland, we're watering well before the Monaghan game, and you managed to get back on the bike very quickly against Kappa White in the semi-final.
Yeah, well, I think what stood to us for the semi-final was the fact that we had been beaten by Monaghan. It kind of brought us back to third again, and we just regrouped, reset, and then we came at it again. And I think we showed in the Kappa White game what we were capable of. So I'd be hoping we could bring that to the final again and make a good game of it.
Yeah, and if Monaghan, top quality team, we've seen what we've done over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I suppose we'll just be hoping that our girls will give a performance on the day. The panel that we have, even just to have, say, a junior B team as well up at that standard. There's a lot of girls on the intermediate bench as well who will be just as good as the starting 15. So hopefully, I suppose, if we perform on the day, we'll get the win.
Yeah, Ray, Richie's obviously not here this evening.
Too shy.
Yeah, don't know about that now. You must be running up some phone bills, one at the field and the other at the other. Don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Poor old Christian running across the side of the field. The only thing to do.
And it's sometimes you don't have good coverage in Borland, so we have to do sign language then, which can be a bit complicated. But I know it's grand. Look, we've a great routine, and signals need to be passed. They go quickly, and you answer that phone, I tell you.
I can imagine Richie, no, he didn't answer that phone.
Trish knows all about
Trish. Tell me to ring him. So it gets a bit mind-blowing at times.
And Richie usually gets about an hour and a half on the phone, so I don't know how he gets them signals across so quick.
Well, I give him a limit of 10 seconds. That's it. Just give me the signal and tell me what to do, and we're off.
Well, it's obviously working well for you because you're at a while and obviously working up the other race streams as well the next time. Looking at Borland, you're the same as the other teams, a lot of work on in at underage level, and that's starting to come through now.
Yeah, well, you can see it this year. We've probably used 7 or 8 under-16s between the junior B and the intermediate team, and they've fitted in seamlessly, And I think it's the experience then of the other girls that brings them in, but they don't show any nerves, and it's great. It's a great trait that they're just able to get in and show what they can do, and then slip back out again. And I've no doubt they'll progress from this onwards.
Yeah, and I suppose a lot of them are wearing county jerseys now, so that's obviously affecting the profile in the club as well.
Yeah, and especially with the under 16s there now, I think we'd 5 on the county panel last year, and it kind of takes the nerves away to a certain extent. Like that step up to the adult grade didn't really affect them, but I think it was through the progress they made on the county scene that nothing really knocked them, and you could see that in them.
Yeah, I suppose if you manage to get over the juniors, how are you going to stay quiet and stay away from Sharon O'Reilly before Sunday?
I don't know. That's a big task now. Yeah, hopefully I suppose we will. If we've camogie match then on the Saturday evening straight after the football, so we won't be able to celebrate anyway if we win the double until the Sunday. So I'm sure on the Sunday, hopefully we'll have 2 cups and we'll be able to give it a go down rattle.
Let's wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you in Bancha.
Thanks very much.
Thanks a million. Thank you.
Now to get one the home field with Darrell O'Brien and Lar Roche.
You can see it and then I'll see the bottom again.
Darrell, you're looking fresh up your final game today.
Yeah, we had a good win there this evening, thank God. It's fun. Busy evening all around.
A few dodgy refereeing calls, and hope you let it take off for you next weekend again.
Right. Please God, I don't know what side of the field you're on.
I thought Darrell, you're after having 2 great years and another final now, so you're doing something right on it.
Yeah, no, it's great. There's a serious group of girls there. They're all, even last couple of weeks now, coming back from college since it's back, and a few girls gone off travelling, all come back eager to go again. It's just, it's easy work with them because they're all so invested in it and they're all mad for progress and get better and keep moving on. So it's easy work for us. All the girls driving it now the last few weeks.
Yeah, I suppose they have Dora was just reminding me earlier on, Pat's did the last thing to beat you in Tipp. She's going on about this for the last 2 years.
I'm sure they've been holding on to that one for a long time now.
I think it's the only thing we can hold on to now, I think, to be honest. The last couple of years for us just hasn't been going well, so I think we'll just fall back onto that one because our rivalry between the 2 of us now, sitting this close now is a bonus because when we come against to play each other, it's just, we don't even look at each other in any way, only the ball and nearly taking each other out of it really. But yeah, it's actually Tomas who keeps bringing it up. He's like, I'm going to wind the 2 of you up now by saying we were the last team to beat him. And it was only a played final or something, I think it was in the end, but he'll hold on to that for as long as he can. I don't even think we'll even hold on to it as long as he will.
Yeah, but I suppose loaded here and there rivals, you probably took a long hard look at yourself and said, look, we need to get the finger out.
Sure, I suppose we were fairly low after that loss that day, so it definitely gave us the motivation to drive on, and I'm sure we had a good year in the end anyway.
Yeah, and I suppose we've seen against Bournemouth, you intercepted a kick out there with Quillen Casey, you went to Dinker. You know, there's only one keeper in Tipperary who managed to get dinked from about 40 yards.
I'm sure, I suppose if I had imagined it was Jarvis and the goals, I probably would have went in.
But that Bournemouth game, that's going to have to go real big on this on Sunday.
Oh no, not at all. Sure, Portland are a great side, and when you get to finals, anything can happen. I remember we played them in the league final last year, and they beat us. So I know they have a few players back from injury as well. So it'll really go down to the wire now the next day. I look forward to a good battle. We'll see how we get on.
Yeah, and not just going to tell me there, but what were your injuries with G?
No injuries, well, flying away, they're not bothering anyone. So it's going to be great now to get all the girls flying around next weekend.
Yeah, we've seen you have 2 fair good nights last year now. I can plan for Sunday evening.
I don't know about that small now. It's private and confidential where we're going Sunday evening.
You have me numbered. But no, look, we saw what you've done and what you've achieved over the last year and a half, and I suppose going up to senior, you've made the step up to senior, would be a huge thing for us. I should have more hours left for the small little parish.
Yeah, it must be a great step for the team that's there. They've come a long way. They've been there a long time now. coming up from junior last year, and it'd be great to make it up in 2 years and just compete with the best. Like that's where you always want to be. There's a serious ambition in the group to play at the top level. So hopefully that'll stand to us next week to get up to that level.
Yeah, and there's a great camaraderie between the panel of players as well.
Oh, absolutely. Like I suppose we had such a long year last year. We were through the highs and lows together, the lows of losing the All-Ireland final. So we've become such a close-knit bunch. We're like a little family. We're always looking out for each other. So when we go out in the field, we're playing for each other, not for ourselves. So yeah, it's a nice little family there and a great setup we have going.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, we're in for a great game of football on Sunday. Lads, wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you back.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
Now it's time to move on to the shopping final on Sunday. The seniors at 4 o'clock is Brian Bruce and Feather. And to get the Feather view, or to get the Brian Bruce view, sorry, with Owen Carney and Tricia Hill. Well, let's take it in. Tricia, you're known at that fight since last weekend, super win against Darrell.
Yeah, it was a great win. Look, we knew it was going to be a real ding-dong battle, which it was the whole way through the game. Thankfully, we were fortunate enough to come out on top this year. But credit to Harlow, they're a mighty club. Like, they didn't give up, we didn't give up. We knew it would go right down to the wire.
Yeah, and we just saw they were coming near the final whistle. You actually brought that last ball inside your own 21, like, for somebody who was playing a corner forward all day. And lads saying that you were more or less wouldn't be playing this year, and you found some bit of fitness there to get back.
Yeah, look, I suppose, you know, you have to learn from your mistakes, and maybe we weren't quick enough last year to react to last minute free, but you know, you're not going to leave the same mistake happen twice. And the backs have put in an unreal performance, so it was just about getting numbers behind the ball really, and thankfully it worked out.
Yeah, no, and I suppose, as I said to Tricia there, the emotion came out there, and like that pain in the last year's final, all the emotion came out the final whistle there in Banff in the semi-final.
Yeah, to be fair, I suppose, but you're going to have to think of the girls afterwards. You've not won, you're in the same position as last year, so at the end of the day, they're winning the county final the same as last year, so they just have to drive on now for Sunday week.
Yeah, and of course you played Federer a couple of weeks ago and finished the draw, so
yeah,
it's not really between you.
Absolutely cracker of a game for Clyheen. We got 2-1 in the last 5 minutes to draw the game. I know they were missing a couple, we were missing a couple, so I think Sunday week it's going to be ding-dong battle 50-50. In the day, come on to the last 5 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, and like Tricia, we were saying there, some of the girls stepping up, like Alana came on and got the goal, they're English, all these young players, like they're all stepping up. We've seen them play under 21 early in the year and what they can do, and getting these girls up and playing senior and pushing on the older ones. Like, you've a good experience, a mixture of youth and experience there now.
Yeah, definitely. It's great. It's fantastic to see the under-21 success was brilliant for the club. You know, it's such an important age group, and it was great to see those girls like winning at that age group. Yeah, they're really, really pushing for places. That's exactly what you want in a club. You know, we're delighted. We also had a junior team as well, which did really well. Unlucky to be beaten last weekend in a semi. That's what you want. You want loads of girls playing football, and I suppose you want to make Owen's job really, really difficult to pick his panel, and then from that then pick his best 15. So, you know, it's great. It's a panel game now. Alana coming in off the bench. Do you know, she could be starting the next day. It's all about competition for places, and, you know, that's exactly where you want to be.
Yeah, I know, but talking about lads, Kate McCarthy's cluster, their chest and that. About 60 seconds before the semi-final, we still had no team offering. Will we get an offering before next week?
Look, to be fair, I suppose I said to the girls, they come over and asked before the game if we have the team, but we had 3 girls on the fitness test right up to the last minute of the game. So you asked for the team sheet, I couldn't give it you because we didn't know who was going to start. So I've been straight up with you, and I just said that we don't know until exactly 2 minutes before the game starts. And that's the way it was.
Yeah, and them girls that passed the fitness test, they all played their part in that semi-final victory.
Yeah, look, we've got all year long we hadn't had a full team with people come back from injuries, with people kind of gone out with injuries. I think the semi-final was the first day where we actually had a full squad. Makes our jobs a lot harder to pick a team because you've people playing all year long and putting in Trojan effort all year, and then you've got girls coming back of quality, and then it's kind of hard to know who to pick. And on the end of the day, you can only go what your gut feelings is with the team. You'll make some wrong decisions, you'll make some right decisions. If you make a wrong decision, you have to say to the girls, sure, look, I call that wrong or I call that right, whatever works out. So I think the best thing to do when you're picking a team and waiting on your team to come in is be as honest as possibly can be with all the players. I always say to them all year long, look, I'll be straight up with you. If I make a bad decision, I'll tell you I made the wrong decision, but if I made the right decision, sometimes it goes in my favour, but that's just the way it is. But to be fair, we've got a good panel, large age gap of 20-25 years from the youngest to the oldest. But look, anyone that comes in gets their chance. They were saying, well, Lana comes in, she's after come the last 2 games now, she's after come on scoring a goal last couple minutes to go. So she's pushing for a spot now as well. So it's good competition in the team, to be fair.
Yeah, and I suppose Tricia, coming up against Feathers, like obviously a young team, and we were just talking about the work that's gone in there, and no doubt probably going to go on to the wire again.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I wouldn't see it going any other way. Seniors extremely competitive field the last couple of years. It's a great achievement for any club to make a final. It's seriously difficult to win one. Point will do. If we win by a point next week, I'll be absolutely over the moon. I'm sure Feather will be the very same. Serious club coming up along all the way. They're just a really good credit. They have a lot of inter-county experience, and those girls have won, at every age group up along the way. So they're not going to be daunted about being in a final. I really do think it'll be a really good game of football, and we just hope that we shade it on the day.
Yeah, let's wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you in bed.
Thank you.
Lovely, thank you.
And now to get the Feather trying to go, we've Harry Davy and Hammersmith. Lads, how are you getting on? Hammer, first senior finals for Feathers, must be hugely second time around.
Yeah, first final was, actually girls were delighted. Struggled a little bit last year for a long time, and just things put into place a little bit this year, got a good start and kept it going to the near the end and in the final Sunday, next Sunday. So yeah, girls were just delighted to be there, to be honest.
Yeah, and I suppose getting that momentum, as you said, like once you get that going, it's a huge thing, like, and it's very hard to stop.
Yeah, obviously, Tomas, good starts in any sport is vital, and we probably had a weaker group the way it worked out. We haven't said that the 2 teams from our group are in the final now Sunday. I'd say we had Banch in our first match, and then we played Commercials in our second match. Commercials had no game before that, so I think that was a huge advantage to us going into that game, to have the championship game played, and we got it over Commercials, which was setting us up then for our second last game against Hurles, which was, if we won that, we were qualified. So we're delighted to get through that.
Yeah, and Kerry, as well, you were obviously struggling with shoulder injuries during the year, and we've seen against Gantley, you kind of put up there at one stage, we thought you were in trouble again, but you've obviously had no problems with it since.
No, well, like it's grand, I'll play away on it anyway, like it's going to be always there probably, but you're not going to really miss out on club championship if you've any say in it. So if I have or if I don't have problems with it, I'm going to be playing away anyways.
Remember, you're coming up against Tricia Pino, she won't be twice more tested than that. The football that you're playing, like, it's actually brilliant to watch at the moment. Like, so obviously the work that's going in and something's going right there.
Yeah, well, we are obviously a very young team, so it's kind of, we're all, well, majority around the same age, more on the younger side, except for one or two. But it's kind of easier for us to gel together because we are probably at the same stage. So like it makes it easier for the lads and for us to gel together and for it to work out in the end.
Yeah, and Hammer, I suppose they've all been around the same age and grown up together, like, so there's obviously that camaraderie there, and it's probably a lot easier for you.
We've been lucky enough to watch the last 10 or 12 years. We've had a super group coming up along consistently over a long number of years, and having said that, then we've lost an awful lot of players within that time frame as well. But lucky enough, we have kept a couple of every year, and they're the core of our senior team now going forward, and they're improving year on year, and sure, tis championship games improved girls, and after getting this will be our 6th championship senior game, so it's great for the girls to develop along the year.
Yeah, and I suppose to make a senior final, like, what is it, 3 years, Harry, since you've come up senior, like, so it's that's just not the progress that's been made better.
Yeah, well, it's all down to the trainers, I suppose, and down to the girls as well. Because last year we had a bad year, really. We all knew it, but we came back this year and we said it wasn't going to happen again. We said we'd put everything we had into this year and try. We just wanted to win a game and see where we went from there. So once we won the first game, it was the next game and the next game, and sure, we're in the final, I suppose.
Case to take one game at a time, I suppose.
So that's all you can do really, Tomas, is the most important game is the next game, and as Carrie said, last year we were decimated with injuries and misfortune. I suppose different girls unavailable for different reasons, and we felt we really didn't do ourselves justice last year, and we just vowed this year we concentrate a lot in our first championship game and try and win one game and see where it takes us. And things just steamrolled after that a little bit. So, and here we are in the final now for first time in our club's history. So just delighted to be there, Tomas.
Yeah, and I suppose I think Tom McGlinchey is down there. It's 20 years since he nearly made a breakthrough there in the senior football, and beating through against Cork in the Munster final in Thurles. And just talking to Tom, Niall Kelly getting a chance, 40,000 people probably going nuts inside bar one, you won't get to the square, and no ball from Niall Kelly going in. Tom, come up here for a minute, Tom, there. What did you say to Kelly afterwards?
I'm not to answer that one.
So the question I suppose Tomas is asking that 20 years ago we were in the Munster football final against Tipp versus Cork, and I was manager, and Hammer came on as a sub, and Willie Morrissey, another great feathered, he was captain of the team. He put a 40-yard pass into Niall Kelly, and we were a point down, and Tipp were going for their first Munster final win since 1935. So Niall Kelly took 4 steps with the ball, had a look at the goal, hit a look across, and the ball hammered inside the square. And it would have been a match-winning goal, and Hammer would have went down in history. But Niall put the ball over the bar, and it ended up in a replay. And we had to wait until last year then for Tipperary to win the Munster final. But Hammer's been a great servant to Tipperary, both men's football and ladies football, and I know that he'll be telling the girls there, if they get the chance in front of the goal, to go for the goal.
They probably would have had a bit of traction in the square and feather to be able to get that goal that time if the ball was getting in, but no doubt if they win next weekend, that statue will finally go up.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a statue, the concrete is ordered for it anyway, but I know the Brian Brew lads below will have something to say about that. But in fairness to Michal here and to Willie Morrissey and to all the crew below, Mary Manny, the whole lot behind the scenes, you know, they're not counting their chickens. I've spoken to Hammer since Raphael Rovers got involved, and his advice to me was, you know, no more than what I said there earlier, just keep aiming for the top, do the best you can, get girls out onto the field. And if there's ever an example, is the two finalists on Sunday. Brian Bruce, you know, heartbroken last year. A lesser team wouldn't have come back, and they're there in the final on Sunday. And there was Feathered, you know, never got to a senior final, as they said themselves, decimated with injuries last year, and here they are in the final. So it's like every team, keep aiming for the top, and you never know what happened. And I think it is the makings of a great final on Sunday week.
Yeah, I suppose Hammer, I mean a huge amount of Feathered if you get over the line.
Where I was getting there has been huge, Tomas. But like I would say that we'll give it all on Sunday week, and the main thing is if we'll be happy if we get a performance with our girls, everyone else will take care of themselves after that. So that's the main thing we want, is just a girls' performance today, and after that, it's in the lap of the gods after that.
Yeah, well, lads, wish you the best of luck, and we'll run into you Sunday.
Thanks, Tomas.
Sure to look ahead to them, those things games which we against them, Lar Roche wins. Yeah. Lar, how things?
Not too bad, Tomas, and you?
Not so bad. 3 super games in Batch on Sunday to the quarter.
Yeah, really exciting. Intermediate, Senior A and Senior B in Banff on Sunday. 3 fantastic finals, 6 fantastic teams. I suppose you take the intermediate there, you have Orlahan and Mullinahone. Mullinahone, after the exploits of last year, straight into the final. Orlahan, to be fair, Orlahan have been talking the talk for the last couple of years, but it's on the line now next Sunday. It's very difficult to call that game. Obviously, Mullinahone won the round robin game a couple of weeks ago, but look, every final takes on a life of its own, and impossible to call that game. The Senior B game, then you have Templemore and Clonmel Commercials. I suppose looking at it from a county board point of view, would be a bit disappointed that the 2 teams that were in it last year are in it again this year. You know, Senior B would be viewed as a competition that would be there for teams to progress. And the fact that Clonmel are in it again and Templemore are in it again, obviously Templemore have a bit more motivation in that they lost the final last year. But you know, Clonmel Commercials again probably look to be a little bit stronger. And the way they've played the game this year, they seem to be creating 3-on-2s from their own half back line, and it's very hard to counter that. I'm sure Templemore will have a plan in place for that. But if I was to call that one, I'd call it Clonmel Commercials again. And then moving on to the Senior A and like quarter final. I suppose the common misperception would be that it's an older team versus a younger team. But you look at the Brian Bruce team, and they're probably considered to be the older team, but they have a lot of experience, yeah. But I wouldn't consider them old. And we also had Alan English, who was only 20 years of age, stepped up the last day and stuck the goal and brought him into the final. So to say that they're an old team would be very, very wrong on the girls. Feathered, the prime example of what any club should do in progression from the very start 19 years ago to today, and the way they've done it, all the way up along, they've been very focused on a particular grade, and when they move on to that grade, someone else comes into the next grade, and they've progressed themselves. You can see the style of football has probably changed a little bit this year. They seem to be more running off the ball and a lot more off the shoulder running. And again, they have most of their players would have played intercounty at some level. So a vast experience, even though they will be seen as a younger team, but they would have an awful lot of experience. This is their 4th year playing senior, and that has to mean something. If you're going to put a gun to my head and ask me to call, I would go for Brian Bruce, but very, very slightly. I think last year, you know, they were absolutely devastated to concede a goal in the last minute, and as one of the selectors said to me afterwards, they didn't even have time to react. It was that close. So they've had the winter to think about it, and you can see the way they approached it again this year. They weren't letting it go, and when it came to the semi-final stage, you know, they weren't lying down, and the game between themselves and Feathered in the round robin ended in a draw. I think with 10 minutes to go, Brian Bruce was down to 13 and 2 or 3 points down, and they drew. So that will tell you the character of the players that they have. They lost a couple of players at the early part of that game as well, match winners in previous games. So, you know, I just think that Brian Bruce would probably edge it, if I was to call it. But again, finals will take on a complete world of their own. You know, all the build up to a final, you know, the fact that there's a preview program, minds will be thinking about it the day before, the morning before. Some girls would get nervous more, they just thrive on it. Whereas if you're playing a round robin game, you're probably rushing from work. You don't have time to think about the game. You're just thinking about getting there and getting togged out and getting ready for the game. That's all I'm thinking of. Whereas now, you know, you have 2 or 3 days to think about it. It's a final, it's a big final, it's, you know, so that affects everybody differently. And on the day, we'll just have to wait and see.
Certainly, plenty of good football to look forward to over the next weekend. Lar, look, thanks for being with us, and we'll run into you Sunday and probably Saturday as well, no doubt.
No doubt, yeah. Thank you.
Fair enough. So that's more or less it for the preview show of 2022. Remember all the games will be live with us from Saturday. The first game at 12 in Gordon. Just want to thank you people. Thanks to the Martins here for putting us up. Thanks to Derby for being with us. Thanks to Centra O'Connell and John Kennedy Waters for helping to run the show. And all we can do is look forward to what promises to be a great weekend of football. And don't forget, next Thursday night after the finals, the All-Star nominations will be announced. No doubt there's plenty of people here that will be in the running for that. And as we said, there's a few that have probably been knocked out already, and there's one person here in particular who I just want to make a presentation to her because she won't be in the running for an All-Star. I'll give her a bit of G up for get things in order for next year. Thirdly, you surely won't be things with this going.
That's actually not even funny, like. As a goalkeeper, if anyone plays a goal, unfortunately, I'm not 6'1.5" to reach the crossbar, and if I came off it was actually against my Carkey, and the day we were playing my Carkey, it had to be in the game that he was streaming, and to say we were having a bad day, we were having a bad day, and I don't even know, the final score was about 7-20, and I came out anyway, and I coming out to block the ball, and I slipped, and it went straight over my head, and all you hear him roaring on the commentary, oh, Dermot after getting dinked, and that was like our second round championship, and to this day, he still hasn't let it down. So surely I won't get dinked in this one.
So we'll check it out there. Here, Roche, and take a shot.
Hey!
That's it, lads. Thanks for all being with us. We'll see you all on Saturday.